Good evening, Mr. Abiodun.
Yeah, good evening, Precious.
Yes, thank you for joining the meeting, and apologies for the change in time.
Not a problem.
Seeing you during the course of this meeting.
Not a problem.
And did you have time to go over the question, sir?
In all honesty, I didn't have the time to go over the question, but I don't think it's anything too difficult for me to answer any from what I saw.
All right, sir. Yeah, so I'll just get right on to it. So my first question is, what is your full name?
My full name is Biodun Lare.
Biodun Lare. And the name of your organization?
I presume you know that.
Yes, I don't know if there's something else in front after EnviroFit. Is it EnviroFit Limited?
No, okay, it's EnviroFit International.
EnviroFit International. Okay. Then your position at EnviroFit?
Currently the managing director for West Africa.
MD West Africa. Okay.
All right.
Locations of your organization?
Yeah, I sit in Lagos office.
Lagos, but there are other offices, and it would be nice to have that information.
We have yeah.
Sorry.
We have an office in Ghana.
Okay.
Right.
So just Nigeria and Ghana?
Yeah, that's where we have our major offices. All other ones are just the satellite office from where we operate with all our partners in different countries.
Oh, okay, sir. Give us a brief background of your organization or your company.
Yeah, well, we are cooking technology manufacturer, and at the same time into carbon program development. So we manufacture energy efficient cooking technology, right? Biomass, LPG, and then we develop carbon projects as well.
Okay, for somebody that doesn't know what carbon project is, can you maybe explain that?
Well, for us, the carbon project we develop is to actually develop mitigating projects that reduce the carbon emission from cooking activities, and in some instances, we also develop some for lighting purposes as well. So this is done to ensure that we reduce the amount of greenhouse gas being emitted into the atmosphere. And by so doing, we make use of our cooking technology to reduce the carbon emission. And this is actually reduce the carbon footprint to some organizations or to some other countries that are highly industrialized, that are actually running or setting targets to ensure that they also reduce their carbon footprint. So what we do is part of what we reduce from some developing and underdeveloped countries is being sold to the highly industrialized nations to actually offset their carbon footprint. And by so doing, these carbon off-takers actually pay for us to develop these carbon projects by offering subsidized products to households to ensure that people can have access to clean cooking technology for their cooking, for their heating, and for their lighting purposes as well.
All right, thank you very much for that answer. So I just want to ask a follow-up question of about your organization. I presume you are not the founder of EnviroFit. I don't know. I'm not sure I have an idea who founded EnviroFit. I've been on your website a couple of times, and I'm not sure I've seen the CEO or founder of EnviroFit. So I'll be happy to get the name of the person as well.
Okay. So there are two of them who co-founded the organization, and then we have some other board members who actually supported the project, the idea that made it come into fusion, right? Yeah. So one of them is called Tim Bauer.
Tim Bauer.
Tim Bauer. Tim Bauer.
Tim Bauer. Okay.
Bauer, right? Bauer.
Okay.
And then the second person is Nathan Lorenz. Nathan Lorenz.
Okay.
Right.
Lorenz.
Those are the two. Yeah, Lorenz. Okay. Those are the two co-founders, right?
Okay. And the first, how do I put this question now? Was it Nigeria that they first settled in, or Ghana?
No. Oh, well, for us, the West African operation started from Nigeria,
Okay, Nigeria.
Well,
okay.
Yeah.
And what was the motivation for forming the company?
Well, the idea for them was actually they were trying to reduce carbon, trying to see efficiency in the use or driving of a 3-stroke engine. They were not more of cooking technology when they started. They started from a 3-stroke engine, the usual stuff we call tricycle.
Okay.
So that was what they were trying to
electric tricycle or IC?
No. Gasoline.
Okay.
So that was what they were working on, to see how they can bring about some level of efficiency in the use of that tricycle, 3-stroke engines. And from there, the idea metamorphosed into a cooking technology.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, sir. So I feel like you've answered this question, but I'll still go ahead and ask, what challenge did you seek to overcome when when EnviroFit was formed in the Nigerian markets?
What challenges do we seek to overcome?
Did you seek to overcome? Yes.
It was more or less of the I think the challenges we were looking at that time is actually how to make cooking a lot easier for most of those women, especially the mothers,
Yeah, the ones in the rural and peri-urban communities.
Yeah, mostly people in that region,
Okay. Yeah, so my next question is, what is your financial or business model?
Well, we are not financial institutions, so we don't have any financial model, but we have a business model. So our business model is actually to develop more entrepreneurs, renewable energy entrepreneurs, people who can actually become ambassador in their own community, selling energy efficient cooking technology to their households, member of their families, to friends in their community. So what we do is we don't get involved in direct sales.
Okay.
So what we do is we create value for people, in trying to solve other people's problem, we can also make some income from such. So that's the kind of model we run, right?
Okay, so I've noticed that EnviroFit has presence in Kenya, and right. When I was reading about the business model that works there, I found out that they do outright purchase, there's the hire purchase, and then there's organized distribution of the stoves over there. I don't know if that's what you use also here in Nigeria.
No, we don't do that. In East Africa, credit actually works well when we started in East Africa. They have more medium of offering credit to themselves, and then a good medium of collection as well, compared to Nigeria, where credit is actually a bit of a challenge. But
did you ever try these models at some point when you started?
We tried it, but not directly. So what we did was just to leverage on those channels that are actually offer credit to their people. For example, we were working strictly or more with cooperatives, associations, MFIs, that we knew that there's no point reinventing the wheel. These are the people who are already giving credit to their members. They know how to do their collection.
How to get it back,
Exactly. So what we did was just to leverage on them. We give it to them, and then they could actually make a margin from it, and then they sell to their members, and then they get their money back. However, we get paid when we sell to them.
Okay. I know. I remember the last time I put a call through to you to make inquiries with regards to a project you had planned to hold in Ibadan. And when I asked the price of your product, you said they fall within the rate. They cost as low as 5,000 naira. And then I compared.
Right.
It has increased
a little.
Okay, so when I compared with the price that I got from people like Solar Sisters, because the least price I got from Solar Sisters was, I think, 15,000 for the regular size. How do you make profit selling your product for 5,000 naira? So I don't know if you get my question.
I get your question. So like I made mention to you before now, I'm sure the stove that I mentioned to you was actually under a carbon project.
Oh.
So the stove was highly subsidized.
Okay.
So we were not charging on that stove for profit. What we were just doing was just to cover the cost of distribution. Okay. Just to ensure that the stove can actually get into the hands of the end users. So at that point, for those stoves that we sell for 5,000 naira, I'm not sure. Solar Sister did not sell them for 15,000. Because we also had a strong and a strict arrangement with them, because it is subsidized. We don't want anybody to make extraordinary profit from it. So, but we created room for them to get a margin, but nothing too arbitrary that will make it inaccessible to the target customers to actually take them. However,
sorry, you can go ahead, sir.
So, however, if we're actually meant to do a commercial sale, the smallest of our stove will have been sold for about maybe 10 or 12,000 naira.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay. Now, I just wanted to add that the price that Solar Sisters gave us was not for the EnviroFit stove; it was for the Jikofa stove.
Okay. So, sorry, ma'am.
Yeah,
let me just.
Okay.
Yes, please. Hello? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm with you, sir.
Right. So you were saying something that the price you got from them.
Yes, was not for the EnviroFit stove. I know that they are mainly cook stove distributors. So right. I'm not saying that the price that they gave us was for EnviroFit, but it was for a different brand of stove. Right. Yeah, model.
Right.
Okay. I'll go on to my next question. What has been your penetration strategy? I feel like you've answered that question.
I've done that, like I told you.
Yeah, you've done that. Your target customers?
They are the people below the, I won't call them the poor. They are not poor, but they are low income. They are below the minimum income. That's that minimum wage or minimum income threshold. At least people whose income are a little bit low, and mostly peasants and rural settlements.
Rural community. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I get. My next question is, what are your plans for human capital development and skills development?
Well, as part of our own objective and goal, we had a target of training more women, all right?
Yeah.
As entrepreneurs, such that outside their normal life activities, they can actually get income from being a clean cooking entrepreneurs within their community. And then from the savings they also get from using these tools and selling these tools, they can also engage in some other livelihood activities. However, for our staffs, we lay emphasis and we put so much importance to female empowerment. We try as much as possible to see that some critical areas are actually being handled by women, and at the same time, we train them also in some capacity development in time that relates more with clean cooking, carbon management, in such a way that we don't need to bring in experts from outside the country. At the initial stage when we started our carbon program, we usually bring in experts for some specific task. But now, in the last 6 years, we have not done that because we have actually developed our own internal capacity to handle most of these activities.
Yeah, I get. Thank you very much, sir. So how long have you been operating in West Africa? Because you just mentioned 6 years. So I assume that you've been in the market for a long time.
Oh, yes. We've been in West Africa for close to 12 years.
Wow, that's quite that's quite long.
Yeah.
So my last question, last but not the least. So what has been your challenge in the Nigerian ecosystem? You are business oriented. So what are the challenges you faced in the Nigerian ecosystem?
In the Nigerian system, the only challenge that I have seen that is a bit major to me and to this business is just the disjointed connection between the policymakers, the business owners.
Sorry, I lost you there, sir.
You said?
I lost you. I didn't quite get what you said.
Okay, so I said the major challenge that I have seen operating in this sector is that
the network is misbehaving.
Let it not misbehave here.
Precious, I can hear him. He said the major challenge is the disjointed nature between policymakers and the sector.
Yeah, you can go ahead, sir.
Right. Yeah. So where you
I
see
guess the network is from my end, but you can go ahead.
Probably, right. So where you find out that policies that will actually support businesses, that will actually support the development of this sector, the policies are there, but the people who are meant to actually implement, perhaps I will call it lack of knowledge, or perhaps we have some round peg in a square hole, so there's a lot of mismatch. And in the long run, what should actually take us a year will end up being 6 or 7 years if we are not too careful. Because I can remember precisely when clean cooking started in Nigeria. The clean cooking idea was actually launched in Nigeria, and thereafter it was launched in Ghana. But I can tell you today, the kind of approach and the importance they place on clean cooking in Ghana is not what we have placed on clean cooking in Nigeria. In Ghana, this has actually been developed. We are developing projects in Ghana. Ghanaian government are very supportive of the projects people in this sector are doing. But unfortunately here in Nigeria, you just realize that go to the policy makers, go to the government, that are actually in charge, that should actually support the development of these ideas, or that we actually that can actually enable the expansion and the quick delivery of some of these gains in the sector. But you realize that things are not just working. It's like one step forward and 5 steps backward.
Yeah, right? I agree with you too. Mm-hmm. I agree with you because let's just say that there's at least a little bit of a wake-up call with the Nigerian government in terms of the fact that at least they are pushing for LPGs. But then I feel like they should not just focus on LPGs. There are still other clean cooking technologies or fuels that can support LPG. So why should LPG be their sole focus? So
yeah,
that's just
you actually hit the nail on the head. You can imagine those kind of policy that
yes.
where they need to be, where they should start from is not where they usually start from, but they are starting from the end game. So I don't know how you can bring people who are using firewood now, and the next thing you want to do to them is LPG.
LPG, yeah.
How does it happen?
All right, now my last question would be, what are your suggestions to move the market forward?
Precious, I won't deceive you. I'm short of suggestions to these people. I've suggested, I can't count the number of people that they've brought to me, that have sat down with me, that I've discussed with, and then they suggest things, just end up being on papers and in prints, and then nothing happens. And then you go back to them, you are talking to them, and it now sounds as if you've not even said anything. So at this point, I'm short of suggestions, because I've actually subjected myself to self-help in this sector. Right.
All right. Thank you very much. So that's all my questions.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for doing this interview with me.
It's a pleasure here.
I'm very grateful.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you well.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
All right, ma'am.
Yeah, do have a lovely evening.
And you too.
All right, bye-bye.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, David.